how do we look at these things in terms of perhaps what we can learn through the rituals of churches or synagogues or mosques to really focus on sustaining positive change? Are there ways that we can look at this work that you and others have been doing to inform how to head towards our highest and best over a longer period of time?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very important question. And most of the work I've just described was looking at short-term changes that are just happening, in the lab over like a 1-hour session. However, in the study that we conducted on oxytocin that we administered and then measured spirituality 30 minutes after and found that it increased, we also measured spirituality a week later, and it was still higher among the people who received the oxytocin. So, I mean, that, it's a preliminary finding, and it also awaits replication, but I think it's interesting. And the way I would understand it is not that oxytocin has these long-lasting effects biologically, is that maybe oxytocin helps us noticing these self-transcendent emotions. So I just said oxytocin increased the positive emotions felt from meditation, but maybe it's also, any positive emotion that's around you, we might take more of it. So I think if on a daily basis we notice these emotions, we cultivate them, that over time they may kind of fuel into our spirituality, and being spiritual may help us, do more of these practices and have these beliefs that are also, triggering these positive emotions. So it's kind of, like a full circle where it keeps growing. But I think it's those like small moments and instances of, repeated positive emotions that can really help us.
It's very subtle, as what you just described is a very subtle way of, it's not like when you say, oh, I'm going to reach this goal or accomplish X, Y, Z, which is what you started our conversation with, that these things are not about reaching a goal or accomplishing something. It's just much more subtle in terms of how we're building, how we're living our life, noticing someone else, and by noticing the bigger picture, building more meaning into our life.
Yeah, and it's really not about forcing yourself to feel those emotions and then trying to get,
some
get
level of attainment or reaching nirvana.
Yeah.
Or, yes.
No, it's not about that. It's about noticing also what's there and being open to that. But also setting the conditions. You need to get outside if you want to notice the beautiful trees.
Yes.
So, I think it's a tricky pursuit. That's for sure.
I don't think it's so tricky. I think you just made it very simple for us. You told us how to do it. I think we can live with that.